Welcome to the latest episode of Platform. Today, we're going to be speaking to Bobi Spassov. Now, Bobby is a very divisive figure in blading. People either love him or they hate him. He is very open about himself. He will pretty much tell you any aspect of his personal life. And he's also really open when it comes to his blading career. So if he disagrees with something, he'll be quite blunt about it. He's also very kind of just transparent about what he earns as a professional skater, whether it's in his wages or whether it's percentage he gets or royalties. And that's very rare in blading. Most skaters tend to keep that information to themselves. And it's resulted in there being a lot of confusion over the years about what skaters earn, what they get from their companies and how they're supported. So it is really interesting that you've got someone like Bobby who's come along and he's opening up a dialogue about that and he's encouraging other skaters to do the same. Now, on top of that, he's also a fantastic blader who has undeniable skills. He has kind of perfected his own, unique variation of tricks, whether that's a combination of cess slides or misty flips into cess slides or his, trademark really fast spins that he tends to just pop 720s and 900s quicker than most people do. He's had some great sections over the years. In the XCCV crew video, he had the final part, which was really good. And last year he had two VODs. One was a joint VOD with Nils Jansons and the other one with his friend Omri Baum. Both are available for free on YouTube. So just want to talk to him about a bunch of things, including his feelings about not placing as highly as he should at Winterclash last year. How things are going with Rosie's. He mentioned last Winterclash that he had a second pro skate coming, but nothing's been announced yet, so we want to talk about that. His VOD sections that he's made and released over the last year, his plans for the future, what's going on with Winbrand, and just find out as much as we can about him. So without further ado, cue the music. There he is.
Hello.
Right, I'm not happy about this. You've got that beautiful new hairdo and you're hiding it under a beanie. That's not acceptable.
Well, I need to make some commercial, right?
You try to make yourself look fresh and mysterious. There we go. Look at those blonde locks. You're like a Backstreet Boy.
Yeah, exactly. You hit it right.
So how's things? What have you been up to recently? Did you have a good Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, we don't really celebrate that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did with my girlfriend's family. We went to her house and we did like a big, how do you say it? So
Celebration? Dinner?
yeah, big dinner, all the family, and it's also a lockdown, so it's kind of sketchy right now. Like you cannot really invite other people, so it was just us, the family, her family.
Right.
Her mom is from Russia, so she celebrates that, and it's important for her to do the whole dinner, Christmas, Russian kind of food stuff.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice. Some weird food though. Some weird food in Russia, I tell you.
Yeah, Russians really like stews and a lot of potato based food from my memory. So I can imagine you'd be feeling quite full after all that food. Yeah.
I don't have the English vocabulary good enough to explain some of this food, but it was a couple of weird stuff in my plate,
Okay. Just remember to keep it polite because your girlfriend's going to end up watching this, and you don't want to be slagging off her mom's food.
No. Here's the thing, right? So it's not just me. Like she makes that. Like there's some basic normal food, right? So
Right.
we all pretty much ate that. And the Russian food she did, it's only her and my girlfriend's father who ate that. you know what I mean? But the kids, like the younger, I'm not a kid anymore, but whatever, you know, the younger guys, we were like, what's this? No.
All
I
right.
mean, I tried, I gave it a test. Some of it was okay, but it's like, it's like a some kind of fish in some kind of jelly pudding, but it's not sweet or anything. It was weird, man.
Fish
It's
and jelly. Yeah, I'm gonna
weird.
take a hard pass on that as well. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
sound
Mm-hmm.
that
It
sounds
doesn't even look so inviting, but
yeah, it definitely doesn't sound inviting. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Moving
Mm-hmm.
swiftly on from that. So
Mm-hmm.
last year you managed to release two VODs, which is that's quite good going. So you had the one with Nils Jansons and the one with Omri
Mm-hmm.
Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Um, loved the one with Nils Jansons, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite clip was the Macchio to toe roll down the long wall, because toe rolls are hard
Ooh.
enough to balance at the best of times,
Mm-hmm.
but you were
Mm-hmm.
basically like you weren't moving at first. And that takes
Mm-hmm.
even more balance, because it's not like you used momentum to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was also big tricks in there, like the wall ride on the double set, and then the massive 180, the true Mizzou off that rail on top of the wall, with the full
Yeah.
cab out. There were big tricks in there.
Yeah, a couple of bangers. Sure. Um, Yeah, I mean the total was I really don't think that the angle or the way it was filmed even really shows the trick. Like it doesn't do the best with this trick. Um, let's put it this way. I mean some tricks, or at least for me, some tricks I go to the spot and I think like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then some tricks I go to the spot and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Why did they even do that? So I think the total is one of those tricks when you actually see it and you're like, did you really did that? You know, because it was super scary, super sketchy. It was thin, and you know, every time you lose control on that thing, it's like drop from one side and the same drop from the other side. So it's kind of like the only thing I could do is basically lay down on my belly. You know, that was like the only way out from this trick. Or if you touch the heel and then you just keep riding and then you have to sit on your ass or
Yeah.
just do the jump again and again. But I don't think that in the video uh, it really felt as sketchy as it is for real.
I don't know. I think anyone that can appreciate how easy it is to lose control on a tow roll can appreciate
Mm-hmm.
how doing it on an object that narrow with that much of a drop is
Mm-hmm.
terrifying. So yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying.
um, also, that obstacle, the kind of like street quarter that you do, I guess you do like, well,
Like
some people will call it
misty.
some people will call it like a tweaked mute, and some people will call it a method grab.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to go back to that and either get a spin or a flip off of it, because that thing just looks like it kicks you up in the air.
Mm, it's not gonna work anymore because they put a rail like on the down part.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, this spot is done
It's
for now,
done. All right.
unless some crazy skateboarders will come there and just break it, which they already did in the past. But right now it's not gonna work. And it's, to be honest, I also felt like flipping or fakey 540 or whatever would be a little more what you expect to see rather than a triple grab
Yeah. True.
in a street. Like not so many people even triple grab anything and then take it to the street. I thought it would be much more interesting also for me to do and for the people to watch, you know, because a misty flip or a back flip or a fakey, even a fakey nine, like it's kind of like you expect me to throw that in in whatever quarter you see. But I
Y-
guess you also expect me to double or triple grab, so I don't know. I thought it would be more interesting. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So what was it? what was it like filming with Nils? Because obviously I saw that he must have filmed some clips on his own at home in
Yeah,
Latvia.
just like free clips.
But it looked like you guys went to a few places together and filmed as
Mhm.
well. So what was that like?
Well, I can go through the process with you. First, we started filming in Malaga, and we got about 6, 7 clips each, including the big wall ride, which was a kind of a mistake thinking back to it. It was the first trick I did. And on the first day, we went street skating, and the impact was huge. I should have just watched it and just let it be and come back the last day or something, because it took a lot of energy from me to recover from it. So I kind of kept skating, but I kept skating with like weak knees and weak back, and it has its impact on your body afterwards. Anyways, we did that, and then we met up in Israel. We went skating all around Tel Aviv and some other places. And to be honest, when Nils was here, I was not in my best mental shape. Let's put it this way. I don't know. I was kind of, I was feeling pressure. I didn't sleep so well. I felt like it was hard for me to keep up with him as well, because he's so good, and he's in very good shape as well. So it's not only that he throw bangers, he throw them daily, and it doesn't take much rest. And I'm used to, if I go, I mean, sometimes you have to skate day by day, but most of the time I like to take a day off, 2 days off, 3 days off if I need to, and then get 3, 4 clips in one day and then take a rest again. This works for me the best, but he could do it day after day. And I felt the pressure, and I was like, yo, listen, I'm going to focus on you right now when you're here. And I had a few clips stuck, like this Toro clip. It was stuck from a little bit before. I had more clips like that. Um, and I told him, like, I'm gonna focus on you, and when you go back home, I'm just gonna keep filming with Omri and put it together. Um, Eventually, to be honest, maybe a couple of weeks after I went home, I was kind of getting in the groove again, and eventually, I didn't really use many of the stacked clips that I had. I actually had new clips that did the job, but yeah, it was kind of frustrating good process, but at the same time, I learned a lot from it, and I learned a lot from Niels as well, because I had to ask myself, why is he in such a great shape? And for me, one day and I'm out, like, and I had to take example from that and try to apply as much as I can from what I saw him doing about his lifestyle. I mean, like skating is one of the best. Like, fuck it, I accept it. Like, I'm not as good as him. I don't have as much experience as him, and I have much more to learn in street skating, in hardcore street skating. And it takes me more time, and it takes more mental efforts from me to deal with my fears and my anxiety when I get to a big spot. And experience is such a key in these things, because the more I feel a spot, this like something similar or something I already did or something I kind of know how to approach, and it's easier to go through. And I saw it in him. It's like, if he feels like, oh, I already did that, just copy paste in another place, he goes straight to work. And I have the same thing wherever I have experience, but sometimes my expectations didn't meet my experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus,
Um,
like when you talk about lifestyle things, like not many people live cleaner, healthier lifestyles than Nils. I mean, vegan, doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, doesn't take drugs, does yoga and exercise every day. So of course his body is going to, recover a lot faster than most people that skate.
Amazing. It's amazing, and it's a thing to look up to, and just I had to, and I'm grateful because I do much more of that. Not in his like amount, or but I do much more of this yoga, stretching, eating healthy. So I try to like, okay, maybe not eat cheese today, maybe not eat too much bread, maybe make more shakes, more natural stuff. And first of all, I feel much better, and this is partly the reason that I could manage to squeeze another VOD in a matter of 2 3 months, And it wasn't like 3 months of filming every day. It was 3 months of filming once a week. So it's pretty good rate clips. Um, and yeah, a lot to learn from Nils, and just in general, like I feel like getting older and getting wiser and getting kind of like more humble, because life just humbles you, with time, and humbles your ego and humbles whatever you think of yourself. And I think I learned to be way more how do I say it, like like not so hard, but like more flexible in what I think I know and what I should learn. And this helps me a lot. And yeah, just being around Nils and just letting myself absorb what he already knows about the body, about food, about life, And Nils is not a big talker, if I can say. Like, he's not a super quiet guy, but he's also not throwing everything at you, Like, he's the kind of guy, he's just a little bit more quiet, and at least more quiet than I am. And I had to kind of listen without words to, like, whatever is happening, and ask myself, what is he doing better? And like, what what can I do to improve, and what I cannot do that I have to accept as well, like some things.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, he's not, obviously he's been on the podcast. He's not the chattiest person, but he'll express himself, but he doesn't feel the need to do it in so many words.
Exactly.
So there's only one problem I had with the VOD. There's one thing I need to pull you up on. There's a continuity error at the very start of the video, which I'm not letting slide. So
There's what?
Do you know, like, have you ever heard the term continuity error?
No.
So it's where one clip doesn't match up with the other clip.
Okay.
So in clip one, you're standing on top of the roof, holding a knife, combing your hair, trying to look all cool. And then the very next clip, it makes it look as if it's a continuation and you're just rolling down the roof to soul grind the edge of the roof. You're no longer holding the knife in your hand. So those two clips don't match up.
Okay, but listen, I went up to that roof and I found that knife right on top of that roof.
Right.
And I was like, oh, look, Omri. It was with Omri. I was like, oh, we got a knife here. All right, let's do a little playing. We're already on that Joker thing, so yeah. I was like thinking of the scene from the Joker, when he goes like, and what was he saying? Yeah, fuck, I forgot. He was like, he was talking to that girl and saying something really funny. Whatever. Point is, it just matched up at that moment. And yeah, I didn't want to do the gap with the knife in my hand.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to jump off a roof with a knife in my hand either. But I was wondering what the story was, because I was like, did Bobby just go into his drawer in his kitchen and go, oh, I'm taking this out today?
No. I could have. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but that was not the case this time. So
right, okay.
Yeah.
You're very transparent about things in blading. You very much you're happy to discuss details with people. So I'm going to ask you, how well did the VOD do?
Which one?
How much did you
The
and
with Nils.
yeah.
It did pretty. I mean, I don't know. I think a Brosco VOD might sell more. Fair.
I mean,
You should.
that's not a fair comparison.
You
I mean,
should.
come on.
You should give all the money to Brosco. I don't give a fuck. But we sold about 850 copies.
Holy shit,
So
that's good.
I mean, it's good in the numbers that we know.
Yeah. That's
And yeah, and it's about 10 euros each. So there is taxes and not taxes, but like little stuff
yeah,
with
like
PayPal and stuff.
PayPal and Selfie both take a
Yeah. So we did around 4K each euro.
that's good for a VOD. Yeah.
I mean, it's good extra bonus for sure.
Yeah.
And we didn't touch this money yet. We keep it for future plans.
Future plans. What are the
Yeah.
future
So
plans?
yeah, because I don't know. There's not too much to talk about right now, but we want to stay in the game and we want to stay in the industry. So you know. We might consider doing stuff together or separate. I don't know, but if it's a brand, if it's product, if it's loads, we're still brainstorming everything with no rush,
Yeah.
but we keep some money on the side, basically to make something for blading. That's the idea.
So nothing's decided yet, but you have a little pot of money you have potential resource there if you do
Yeah.
decide to do something.
Yeah, we also have, I guess, each his own money, but this is like something we gathered and kept for it to be ours for if we decide to make a project together. Let's throw something in the air. Let's say we want to make a wheels company. All right. So, with the 4K, with the 8K euros, it's a good head start to start something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
No, that
And
makes sense.
maybe so. Yeah, I mean that's the
All right.
plan.
Cool. You also had the exclusive section with Omri Bomb, which again was
Mm-hmm.
great. Had again some brilliant skating in it. I think my favorite was I like the roll up to fast slide on the like steep bank thing. That was quite cool. Roll up to I think it was like back fast slide.
What?
How can you not remember tricks in your own section? This is there's like a steep. It looks like a kind of like barrier thing. It's like a concrete block, and you roll up a really tight transition and then back fast slide off the end of it. You can't remember. It's fine. I'll show the clip so other people can see it. I also like the early 180. So you do like a 180, and there's blind bumps at the top of the stairs, and you jump before the blind bumps, which has got to make a stair gap scarier.
Oh, this one I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it actually added a lot of like it's a longer gap,
Yeah,
So it was like a meter and a half more. But there was a lot of run up, so there was shitloads of speed.
yeah.
So in that sense, the faster you are with gaps, the better it is, the less impact. So I mean, it was a little bit scary to do the first one, but after I jumped, I felt like, oh.
I mean, I understand the logic. Like the faster you go, the easier it is on your knees. But the faster you go, if you don't land it, the faster you slam. So that's just
I
more
don't.
skin you're taking off your body.
I agree, but I don't take that into consideration so much because I land most of my gaps. So it's not trying to act like
Big
I
yourself
am
up.
whatever, but it's just if you lace most of your top soles, then you don't think too much about the one that you
Yeah.
miss every 10 or 20 tries.
I know what you mean.
So
What was the story behind the abandoned water slide at the end? That is a water slide, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just because of the corona, so all the water parks are closed, obviously. And I saw some BMX dude just doing something on this ramp, and I was like, oh shit, we gotta go there. You know, it's in Tel Aviv, so it was kind of fit because we the only rule we set for this VOD was we release it by December, and so we finish December. Whatever we have, we have. If we don't have anything, we can do Instaclip, or we can do whatever video with it. But we release it before December, and we skate only in Tel Aviv. So we don't go out of Tel Aviv whatsoever. You know what I mean? And so it did fit right. It's in Tel Aviv. It's a big water slide. I didn't really understand how big it is before I got there, you know? So it was like, it was way bigger than it looks. I swear to God, it's huge. It's a building, you know? It's
I mean,
three, four stories,
it looks pretty
you know?
big. You don't, you know, it's not like it doesn't do it justice in the footage. On the footage, it looks fucking massive.
Okay, I'm happy you say that because it's just one of these things that still it feels like, oh, if you were there, you like just to make to understand. I asked Omri to film one angle with the fisheye from on top, and he said, "No fucking way! I'm not standing near the edge of this thing whatsoever. You fuck off! I'm standing
I
back
don't,
down there."
I don't blame him. I don't want to hang off the edge of a cliff with a camera either.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, it's pretty sketchy, but you could slide on your ass, but it's gonna take some skin off your pants. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, friction burns like hell.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was, but eventually it was cool. It was first try. Well, I did go down that thing 2 times before, but
Yeah,
I didn't really catch air afterwards, and I didn't really do the SES afterwards. So it was just I went down that thing 2 times, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna air, and then I'm gonna SES, and let's see what's happening. I checked the SES slide a little bit before from down. Well, the thing about this spot, and I'm sure you cannot see this one in the camera. So imagine there is a ramp, right? And this ramp is designed for you to go down with the
like
uh,
rubber ring or a float. Yeah,
exactly. So it's designed for you to slow down, right? Because there's water, and if the rubber, if the thing, if it goes too fast, you're gonna go slide off, you know? So for it to slow down, they kind of designed it a little bit the other way around from normal vert ramp, which means they kind of bumped it out like towards the ramp. So you can imagine if this is the ramp, they did bumps that goes like so. They're not like super bumps, not like something that is unskateable, but it's just super weird
yeah,
because it edges out and back in a very small angles, you know. So what that means is if you are down at the bottom of the ramp, you cannot go up. It's impossible to go up. There's only much you can push from side to side, and at some point, maybe middle of the whole thing, that's it. You cannot take more speed. I don't know how to explain it, and I tried. Obviously, I wanted to go as up as I can before I go down to feel it, but I only got halfway, and then you cannot push it anymore because it's just not designed like that.
yeah. I
And
know
the
what you mean.
middle
Yeah.
part is also not big enough for you to like. So it's like, you know,
Okay.
and that was the what's hard about this whole thing, aside from being big, but eventually as big as it is, it's just a ramp. but the way it designed made it kind of, oh my god, super
Yeah, it
sketchy.
looks really tight because the ramp is so
Hmm.
steep on one side and the other transition is like facing onto it. It's not like there's any flat or anything. So
Not enough.
if you misjudge or misbalance on the way down, you're just crashing
Oh,
into a wall.
oh, 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 oh. I don't know. I think if you fall on the way down, I think you can get hurt really bad.
Yeah.
Like really bad. If you fall very fast, when you go down very fast, maybe you can slide on your shoulder or on your ass all the way down. Okay. But if you're with the full speed down and something goes wrong,
Yeah.
that's it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's a
Maybe you
trip.
don't get up.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know,
trip to
like
the hospital guaranteed.
yeah,
Yeah.
you go sleep.
Um,
But it didn't happen. So
Glad to hear it. So that's two VODs now that you've made where you've split with people. Why?
mhm.
First off, why are you doing joint VODs? And second, when are we going to see a solo VOD?
um, I don't think there is a very particular reason. It just happened, and also like I enjoy skating with my friends. Like skating is for me it's a communication. You know what I mean? And of course, sometimes I do solo sessions and fun, whatever. But well, for it to work, for me to do a solo VOD, mm, I need everything to work around it. So basically, let's say if I'm with Omri, it would be better if Omri also wants to make his own solo VOD or something. You know what I mean? At the same time. Because I will not push him. If I cannot pay him money, I will not push him to just come film me. Like maybe if I get some support for it and maybe I go somewhere and meet a videographer who, you know what I mean, who wants to make like a project and he's a videographer, cool, but it just doesn't feel right to go skate with my friends and take all the clips uh, for my solo thing, It's kind of weird.
I think I know what you mean. Like, as in, it's not fair to make them work and have to spend all that time filming, and especially if something takes a lot of attempts or you have to, travel a little bit for it when they don't get anything in return.
Unless like I think I'm a good filmer, so obviously if they want to do something in the same time, like for example, I work with this good friend of mine who is a scooter, and he wants to film for his scoot stuff, and I want to film my own stuff, and it doesn't really clash together, so it works. I Whatever I get is for me, whatever he gets is for him. So we go to a spot, I get the trick, he films me, we move forward, he gets the trick, I film him, and then go separate ways. And this is cool, but I don't know. You know, I also like the together. I don't know. I like the blading, like, um,
Like
with the
collaborate,
homies,
yeah, collaborating, like working with people. Yeah,
Yeah, it's what I don't know. And I don't get that enough as well, because my friends are always busy or whatever, blah blah, and a lot of the times I find myself filming with the camera guy alone, and there's even nobody to make a fucking sound when you land the trick. You know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
no like cheering or
Depressing.
celebration or anything. Yeah,
Yeah, it's depressing. But it is what it is, and it's fine. And I mean, I don't push the guys too much. It needs to come from them. If they want to go out and do it together, let's go. If no, it's okay. I'm gonna keep working with whoever I can, whenever I can, and because this is my job, I need to make it work. If for any reason there's nobody to film me in Israel, I take a bag and go somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. Now it's working.
Okay. Um, we never talked about this the last time I interviewed you, and I've kind of seen on social media how you interact with people or sometimes get criticism. You are like a very divisive figure in blading. So some people love you and love your skating, but then there's a lot of people that are very critical of you and,
Mhm.
either tricks that you do or sections that you put out or things that you say. What do you think about that? Like, what do you think about the way people in the blading community like judge you, whether it's negatively or positively?
Well, first of all, they probably don't know me, so it's very easy to judge somebody you don't know, or just the out skin, or you know what I mean, like whatever they see is just the tip of the ice of who I am. You know what I mean? So it's very easy to judge. And also, I don't know, I guess that I have different um how do I say it? I have like different skills and different values or different things that I bring to blading that maybe people don't always they don't see it or don't always appreciate it, in a sense that they value tricks or bangers, I don't know, or whatever they are used to from their own time. And maybe they think somebody who is in a position of being fuck, my words don't come easy today. Um a position of being like recognized and having fans or crowd or big follower counts or big views or pro status, whatever. Maybe they think that it all has to do with what they know, which is about tricks. But maybe I brought other stuff to the game that is just as, if not more important than the tricks. You know what I mean? Maybe they cannot appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe I don't think about it too much, but it's just something that comes in my head. Like I I kind of brought the whole Insta clips game into blading. It wasn't mine. I didn't invent it, but I brought it into blading. And the majority of blading right now is Instagram and Insta clipping and all kinds of even where it got to this point where people are doing like a quick clip, like Joe Atkinson doing like a quick clip with some kind of flip and then it rewinds. Who even brought rewind to blading in Instagram? You know what I mean? So it's just one thing I can mention that I brought to the game, and maybe this is why I got the recognition and the status or whatever. And I don't know, maybe not everybody see it as value, but I guess companies do, and some skaters do. And some skaters say, hey, you didn't lock this top side, or oh, you didn't spin the other way, or you didn't
Yeah.
use like, and these things that don't disturb me that much. Like I skate what I'm critical about what disturbs me or what does not. And let me tell you this: if I see a full video and the guy skated only in his right foot, I couldn't care less because I don't watch his right foot or left foot. I can recognize switch and I know, hey, this was switch. That's sick. But in general, it doesn't concern me. Like I watch I watch the filming. I watch what he wore, like clothing wise. I watch his hands, his style, his I don't know, the background. You know what, how close or how open they filmed it, how it looks with the background, how the variety of the spots that he used, that he skates everything, and not only rail, 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 or only gap, gap, gap. Or, I mean, it's easy to fall for that. I fall for that too. Sometimes I go to my comfort zone. Hey, I can do gaps, so I'm gonna do another gap today. But eventually, I watch the full video and I'm like, shit, I need more variety. I have too many gaps, which would happen in God Game. Eventually, I would say I had too many gaps. You know, it would be nice if I could change them, but it is what it is, and it's fine.
Yeah.
So, you know, I watch a lot of other stuff, and for me, there's other stuff that makes me feel the thrill, makes me feel the fire to go out and skate, to go out and create, to go out and make a video, to, I listen to the music, I listen to the skating with the beat. There's little stuff that makes me feel like emotions. And it's not about the tricks for me.
I,
So
yeah, I know what you mean. Um, it's the whole package, like how someone looks on skates, how they make the trick look, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the most technical trick. One thing I did want to ask you about is though, because you don't just get criticism from people in the community, you also have in the past received criticism from fellow professionals. I remember you brought up a post that Chris Farmer made, and he was basically making fun of you, and I can't remember what it was. Like he referred to you like as a fairy or a princess or a ballerina or something. Does
no,
it
no, it's
does it
yeah.
bother you when like fellow pros, because fellow professionals know what it feels like to get criticism, because especially someone like Chris Farmer, he's received quite a lot of criticism himself. So does it bother you when you get it from people that you respect, or people that should understand your situation better?
Let's split the answer to two. First of all, it's actually a mistake. They actually didn't say anything bad. I
Right. Okay.
talked to Kevin Kevin Yee.
Kevin Yee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
yeah. So I talked to him and he explained to me the situation, and it's basically just jokes. This is how they called a true porn star says, right? Or a porn star, or ugly porn star says, whatever. They called it the princess.
Right. Okay.
So I took it wrong. There
Right.
was
So it
no
was just, yeah. So it was
explanation.
just
There was no
misinterpreted.
explanation
Okay.
with it. Yeah. So and also it didn't hurt me at the time it happened. Like I think I kind of developed a little bit of understanding that you cannot be loved by everybody. And I mean, come on, Leo Messi is being hated, and Cristiano Ronaldo is being hated, and they are both the best at what they do. And it is what it is. People fucking hate you. And it's fine. And some people are like, they are from that community, and some people is other pros. And I guess other pros sometimes don't understand me as well. And it's okay. And maybe they don't know me. Maybe they don't understand me. Maybe they don't fuck with how I talk, with how I present things, with how I skate. I heard many stories in my little time, 2, 3 years being a pro in this. I heard many stories that people think that I think of myself, or I think of myself as I'm a good skater, and this is why some of the pros don't follow me on Instagram, for example, which is funny. It's come on, we're like 30 pros in the whole fucking scene, and you guys make a selection. Like, come on, we can support each other. We can do so much more. But whatever, it's fine. It's their ego. It's their. If they have a problem, it's their problem, for real. It's not mine. I'm cool. I'm fine. I do what I can. I skate how I can. I skate the best I can. I go create content. I create massive amounts of content from what I know, from in comparison to some other pros. Not all of them. Some of them are just at the level or even more. But you know, create content. I do my job as a pro skater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
And
mean.
it's
Yeah.
also subject we can talk about that. You know, somebody, whoever, not mentioning any names, but somebody said something along the lines of, "I don't have any skaters in my city."
Right, sorry.
And
Right,
you,
okay. So you mean as in that pro complained about not having anyone to skate with in their city.
yeah. So
Right.
just like, what is your job? What is your fucking job? Tell me. If
To
you don't have a
promote
pro,
blading.
if you're a professional rollerblader or a professional skater, however you want to call it, and you don't have skaters in your city, like, oh, who the fuck? What? What? I don't have an answer for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say to the guy besides, bro, take a deep look at yourself and what you're doing, and ask yourself if you're doing everything you can to promote the sport. You know what I mean? As a professional skater. Now, maybe this guy doesn't get any money. Maybe he doesn't give a fuck. Maybe he just want to do whatever he wants to do, and I understand that. I understand that. Really, part of me really understand that. But I think in a couple of years from now, maybe not yet, but in a couple of years from now, that there will be no place for such statements, because pro skaters should know their job, and their job is not only to lay tricks, and their job is not only to smash a handrail with a hurricane topsail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do find it really strange when now it's not many pro skaters, but some pro skaters say really sweeping statements like, I don't understand what's expected of me, or I didn't understand what my sponsor wanted from me, or it wasn't made clear. And it's like, without being too harsh, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what is expected from a pro skater. You know, you're expected to make a name for yourself and be visible. You're expected to produce regular content, and you're expected to promote the brands that sponsor you. That's it. Like, it's not difficult. So I can understand why there might be like specifics that are unclear. Like if a sponsor doesn't say to you, oh, we want this amount of edits, or we want this amount of, social media content, or did it, if they don't tell you, like, give you a ballpark of what you're expected to achieve, and that's fine. But just saying that you don't know what's expected of you isn't really an acceptable answer, because even if they don't tell you, it's your job to find out. Like, if you don't know what your book company wants you to do, ask them.
I got
Say
a lot to say for what
say,
you
what
just
do you
said.
want from me?
It's I think it's very deep conversation, because I feel like um, the self-esteem of the pro skaters was so low, or maybe it's not about self-esteem. Sometimes maybe it's about just not being aware enough, that it seemed like the company would talk to you whenever they talk to you, and tell you whenever they tell you what you need to do or where you need to go. And aside from that, there is no conversation. Most pros I met in my lifetime don't get any money, or if they do, it's very small money, and they don't ask, and they think, oh, this company told me nobody gets money, so nobody gets money. Come on, like, I wouldn't like, fuck off. I don't skate for your company. That's it. Walk away, and have some fucking self-esteem and self-respect, and know, understand your value, in a way that you have to understand marketing, and you have to understand that money comes with consuming, right? So you have to understand that if you have views and engagement, then that equals money for companies, right? And this is like basic stuff. You don't have to go to college or whatever to understand that. And you're like some kind of commercial for companies. They make money from your commercial. You have to look down deep at what you do and really figure your value in comparison to other pros, in comparison to other sports, in comparison to whatever, you know. So, for example, I cannot say with my 20K followers, I cannot say I want to get the money Messi gets, right? Because he has 100 blah 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 million followers, and he has a million views per 2 minutes in a post, right? So you have to understand what's the value in money for that. But you have 10 or 15K, right? And you can say, okay, I look at, let's say Nils Jansons. He has 50K followers. He make, I guess, between 20 and 30K views uh, in center. How do you say it? Like
Like
sometimes more, sometimes less.
like average, yeah.
Average, right? 20, 30K views. He has X amount of likes and blah blah blah. And you know, because we try to keep it transparent, that let's say he makes XYZ money. You know what? You can go and ask him plus minus how much he makes, right?
Oh,
And then you can
I've
go.
already asked him. Yeah.
But I'm talking now in the eyes of the pro or the upcoming pro skater, or you know
Yeah.
what I mean. And then you
Bobby,
approach your company.
I'm offended at that. Are you telling me that I'm never going to be pro?
No, 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 no,
Why
no,
am I
no.
not going to be pro? Are
No,
you
of
saying I'm
course
not
you're
good
gonna
enough,
be.
Bobby?
No, you're already a pro. Come on.
This
You just
interview's
don't.
over. I'm
Yeah.
offended.
I will make you a pro product as soon
Oh,
as I got
sweet,
my
cool. That's
company.
all I ask. That's all I ask.
Easy. I got you. So yeah, you know, just ask these questions, value yourself, understand your work. Like it's so important. I don't know. I wish I could have this conversation in front of all the guys who skate and all the guys who are like pro skaters. And of course, I don't expect everybody to do what I do, because I do it one way and this guy can do it another way.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of ways to do it. You know what I mean?
I think that's the issue. I think a lot of skaters don't understand their value and just accept what they're given. Or not only, it's not that they don't accept it, they just don't question it, or they don't, because they're scared that if they do, they'll get dropped and another sponsor won't pick them up, or they'll become known as difficult and other brands won't want to approach them. And that is something I want to ask you about, because you're very transparent about what you earn. I mean, I remember a Facebook post, and I can't remember the details, but you basically broke down your contract and what you
Yeah,
get
pretty much.
and
Yeah.
what's expected from you in return.
Mm-hmm.
And you invited other pro skaters to do the same. Do you ever get any backlash about that from either your sponsor or other skaters? Because
Huh.
most other skaters don't openly admit what they get from their
No, it's
sponsors.
their
They're very
problem.
secretive about it.
Mm-hmm. Other skaters can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't care if they have anything to say as well. But the companies, I talk to them before. I'm not stupid, right? I make a move. I tell them, hey, listen, I want to be transparent about my money,
Yeah.
and is it cool with you guys? If they say no, I want to hear why not, and maybe I can change their mind, because I think that there is a reason behind. I'm not trying to flash like, oh, listen, I make money, because I don't. It's small
Yeah, well,
money
it's not. Yeah,
anyhow.
it's not that much money. Yeah,
It's a joke. But at the same time, it is what it is. And that's the most important part at the end of the day, right? It's not about trying to be too humble, and it's not about trying to be too flashy. It's about saying things how they are. And people can take it however the fuck they want, but it is what it is. So, like, I will give you an example. Let's say somebody comes to me in the street and asks me, hey, are you good at rollerblading? can I say yes without being too flashy or trying to, I don't know, like somebody say, oh, look at this guy. He says to this random guy, oh, he's good. And he think of himself. But sometimes there is reality. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world. I'm not saying everybody should lick my balls. I'm not saying none of that. It's just a typical question.
Yeah,
I
and there's
for a
nothing.
random guy,
Yeah,
for this random guy, am I a good skater? Yes, and
there's
it's
nothing
fine.
wrong with owning your ability. And yeah, if someone says to
Exactly.
you, "Are you good?" You can be like, "Yeah, I can hold my own." That doesn't make you arrogant.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And the same thing with the money and being transparent about everything. It's okay. This is what I make. This is what I have to give. And also for kids who maybe see it and maybe have questions like, let's say I'm a 15 years old and I like Alex Brosco. I like Nils Jansons, whatever. And I want to think, oh, I see this Instagram. Like, I want to ask Alex, because I know about Nils, so I'm not giving it as an example, but I want to ask Alex, Alex, do you make money from rollerblading? Who the fuck knows? I would like to think yes, but this is the thing. Even me and Niels and other people that maybe is not super close friends with Alex don't know if he makes money. And I don't want to go into his pockets. I don't want to know what is he making for any reason to use it. I just want to know if the guy's making money. Fuck. And if not, it's a fucking shame. And he should make fucking money. And fine. He doesn't want to say it. He doesn't want to talk about it. Perfect. It's his. I got nothing to say that. It's his. But I just think there's another way. And I think it needs to be more transparent. And I think part of the reason why we have all of these problems with pro skaters and pro companies and boot companies and wheel companies and whatever, because there's so many sneaky shit going on
yeah,
because nobody knows who's earning what. So
I agree.
I'm gonna finish with that. If let's say roses decide to make someone else, let's put whoever, I don't know, they're gonna make you tomorrow a pro skater, right? And you know what I make, and you know what Nils make, and you can see, okay, you can at least have some kind of, okay, I have less following them, I have less engagement in them, I have less how do you say, like I'm less years in the company, so I'm just new coming. So it's okay if they gave me a deal that is less than them, but still it's not like they get 1,000 euro a month and you get, let's say, 2 euros a month, and then it makes no sense. But maybe for your first year as a pro skater for this company, upcoming skater, with the amount of engagement you have, for example, Nils gets more money than me, and I think it's just fair enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's fair, and it
yeah.
is what it is. So if
Well,
a new skater if you come, you will know
let's get
what
this
we're
straight
doing.
right now. When I get my pro wheel
Sorry,
scene,
sir.
when I get my pro wheel scene Rossi skate, I want more money than you because
You can have it all.
I've been running wheel scene longer than you've been a pro rollerblader. So I figure
Fair,
I deserve more royalties
fair,
than you do.
fair. I will send you some money from my salary. I will give you. I will take a cut from my salary and send you a little bit.
That's all I ask.
It's
Um,
not much anyhow, so.
so for the people that didn't see the Facebook post, because obviously some people don't use Facebook, can you what kind of royalties did you get off your pro skate? Like how did it work out?
It's 2.5 euros a skate sold,
And how
and
many skates
then
were sold?
I think around 800 plus.
Okay.
I don't know if they sold. I think they sold out completely. It's about 840, whatever. Um, and then there is royalties for other skates as well, for team
Yeah, I
skates.
remember seeing that. Yeah.
And there is also royalties for things that are sold in Rose's website. So it's
Yeah.
also higher royalties if it's sold there. If it's a pro skate, it's a 10 euro. If it's I actually don't remember. Sorry, I'm
Wait,
trying to
sorry,
be
sorry, what?
transparent.
Because didn't you just say you got €2 something royalty on your
If they
pro?
sell it to shops,
Right, okay, but
but if they
if
sell
they
it
sell
directly,
your pro skate directly, you get €10.
exactly.
Got you. Right, okay. Do
So
you think that's a fair royalty, or do you think that it could be higher?
I think it could be higher, 100%. And we talking about it, and there is things to consider there. And I mean, we had multiple conversations about it. We still didn't come to an agreement. One of the agreements we came through is having these 10 euro royalties via Rose's website. And we're still checking this. I mean, personally, I want it to be more. I think it can be more, but they have their own, oh, how do you say it? Like, why they can't, or
Yeah, they have. Well,
not.
they have expenses that most pro skaters don't understand as well, such as tax and
Exactly.
distribution, and
And
salaries for
shops and
employees and stuff.
raising
Yeah,
the price
yeah,
of the skates and this and that. I think that there is still room to talk. I think. Let's see. We're working in the future. Right now, I have a salary that is pretty decent in
in
rollerblading
blading terms.
or
Yeah,
yes. So like I also try not to be, again, it's evaluating yourself, trying not to be, overthinking that you deserve that or this when you're already getting some, but it's also not also degrading yourself too much that like they will tell you, hey, you take this and shut the fuck up. No. And we're having conversation, and sometimes we're having like a heavy discussions. Like, no, I think this, I think that.
yeah. Well,
I hope
it's just about finding a balance and being respectful. You can state what you believe your value is and how you think there's ways to achieve that without starting a fight or being aggressive or being
exactly,
obnoxious. Yeah,
exactly. It's also something you have to learn in your life to have not even a discussion, but like the
negotiating skills.
like a real negotiations, and also to not get angry or not get too fired up when you get a no.
Yeah,
And I don't give up on that. I believe this is me talking. Okay, Bobby, nothing to do with any company. Okay, this is just me talking right now. I believe that all pro skaters royalties should go up to at least 10 euros. Okay, if it means raising the whole market like
price.
price,
Yeah,
I think it's necessary because I see the numbers. So let's say it's between 500 and 2,000 skates in production uh, right now. I'm like in the whole scale. Okay, from what the numbers I know, not only roses or whatever, all together. Even John Julio posted openly that he made 1,000 and
yeah. It
something.
says one. Yeah, say made 1,000 pairs of skates for certain models. Yeah,
So we know it's between 500 and 2,000 pairs. This is right now the structure of the market. Nobody's gonna make 5,000 tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay, this is what we know. And then if we look at about 10 euro royalty, then we're talking about between 5k and 20k. Okay, if we're talking 10 euros, okay, between 5k and 20k for pro product, right?
Yep.
And which is kind of fair in comparison to the market. I'm sorry, you cannot get 100 euros for every skate. If we manage to raise up the the whole market production levels to 5K or 10K, like it used to be, you know what I mean? Then, then if you have a 10K, then a pro skater can make 100K for his pro product. Now, why I think it's so important, because I think also futuristic that pro skater can have a bunch of money, and if he's smart, he can put this money back into blading and stay in the game. And there's a lot of value to this, value that I believe that some people may miss, because having the people not have to leave the game to do whatever the fuck they do and stay in the game and make more competitions and make more, you know, competition is healthy. It's good for everybody, right? Maybe you lose a few sales because this company right now is more valued or whatever, but the whole production together goes up, right? So it's not like if one company can go from making 1,000 skate to making 10K skates, and then the other companies will only stay at 1K. You know, they will all rise to 3 to 4, whatever. Even if that company is making the best or super great, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So
I
there's
understand.
more companies, there's more media coverage, there is more pros, there's more. This is what we need, right? We need more kids, more people, more newcomers, more being more on TV, being more on social media, being more on TikTok, right? And it seems that we are not working together at all to make it more, because a pro skater is not even following another pro skater, and this company is not making a collaboration with that company, and there's a big beef and blah, 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 you know, all of this shit. And
There's definitely, that is, in my opinion, one of blading's biggest problems is that everyone seems to be working towards their own agenda instead of working towards a unified group. So it's like, yeah, like you said, like brands working against each other instead of with each other, or skaters
instead of
work.
working towards blading,
Yeah,
they don't understand that there's a bigger cause, more than sales, more than production. There's blading, you know, and this is the, if everybody works towards blading together, blading grows, everybody makes more money. And I think that one of the things that will change this and will help everybody is if we can help pro skaters, because rollerblading, like let's try, sure, I'm not a scientist, I don't know whatever the fuck I'm talking about, right? But it's just in my brain, in my little ideas, right? If we kind of try to split everything, and first thing we have is the concept, which is rollerblading, right? Which is um, aggressive inline. Whatever. It came from skates, it came from here, blah blah blah. But first we have on top of the pyramid is the concept, which is the sport itself, right? Just like football is football, you know, without crowd, without blah blah blah. But it's football, which is taking the ball with your goddamn foot and scoring it into the net or passing a play, right? There's the game first. So then we have rollerblading, which is the game. Then we have the uh, people who want to participate in this sport, right? I guess before even the people, we can put the companies, the boot companies, because we need the product. We cannot do it without the product, right? So we need the boot companies. Then we need pros, shops, retailers, wheels, new companies, blah, 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 websites, Wilson, BMAG, zubi, blah, 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 blah.
don't even think
Okay?
about naming other people, right? I'm not, don't dare name any other media sources, right?
Sorry,
That's not
sorry.
acceptable.
Fuck all of these guys. So, so, right? And now the pro skaters are somewhere in that top of that pyramid.
Yeah,
And because they are like the dream, right? They are one of the most important
Well,
powers
they're
that
what's selling the
spinning.
idea of the sport. They sell the skill level. They sell the crew vibe. They sell the dream of what rollerblading is.
Exactly. Because if there will be only companies and consumers, let's see what happens, right? But it seems that, and this is a very big mistake in my opinion, it seems that because the companies, well, first of all, rollerblading in the 90s was for granted. The idea of rollerblading was selling itself.
Yeah,
We understand,
yeah,
right?
it was a
Because it was
massive boom. Yeah,
new, it was fresh. You didn't need nobody. Technically, you needed people because it helped and it brought more people and it helped grow. And there's the pioneers like uh oh, I forgot his name. I'm so bad today,
if
but
we're
like
talking about rollerblades,
Edwards,
then it's
Chris
like,
Chris
well, even
Edwards,
before
right?
that, there was the Olsen brothers that basically came up with it in the first place. But yeah,
So the pioneers of tricks,
of aggressive. So yeah, so like yeah,
progressive, TTT, ta ta ta, and these people have pushed, but the idea for itself was right there, and it was for granted. But after a couple of years, things were not for granted anymore, and now it takes work. Now it takes people to do their fucking job for it to work. You know what I mean? Because the idea of rollerblading is not for granted, especially, sorry, the idea of aggressive inline
yeah,
skating
yeah. I know what you
is
mean.
not
Yeah,
for granted anymore. You know what I mean? And now you need pros, and now you need people to push it. Now you need idols for the kids. Now you need, uh, faces for your company. And some companies, unfortunately, very much mistaken things because they have the structure. So they have the production, and then they have the shops or retailers or whatever, people who take it from there, and they sell it, right? This is why you see, without mentioning any names, you see a company put up a boot out without the skaters even having the boot because they think they don't need the skaters.
yeah.
They have,
There's definitely
and you know what? They are also right. They are right. They don't need the skaters. And let me tell you why.
to a
Because
certain
there's other
extent.
skaters. There's other skaters. But of course, we all know that these companies that we're talking about are at a very low, um, how do I say it? Like reputation right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People don't want to
They're not
fuck with these
respected. Yeah,
companies.
yeah,
But they can still work if they want, like this. If they think, we don't care about blading that much, we got some other things going, so we can produce these 300 pairs. It's gonna sell itself. We still have the mechanism. We still have the whole system working for us, and fuck it. And they're right. It's gonna work to a certain extent, but as blading is gonna grow, they will have to step up, or they will stay
yeah. There's
in
only so
that.
long you can get. I understand what you
Exactly.
mean. There's brands that are basically living off their legacy now, and they think that the name of their brand alone is enough to sell the skate, and it is for
Exactly.
now because they're
As for
selling small
now,
numbers. But when other brands are overtaking them, and soon it's going to get to the point where they overtake them enough that brand's in a lot of trouble, and that will happen over the course
yeah,
of a few
and they will
years. Yeah.
stay. They will stay, and there will be no room for these brands. Or if there will be, there will just be still these small brands that do whatever, and it's fine. They have this whole system going. They take everything for granted. Cool, whatever. But and look at it, look at it. Like there is the same brands almost since, you know what I mean, since so many
For the
years.
most part, yeah, a
There's
lot of the
no
brands have been
room.
around since the 90s. Yeah,
There is no room for other people to come in because this is the game changer here, because you need a certain amount of money to even start,
yeah,
right? So the product itself is costly. You know what I mean? So when we're talking, we have the sport, and then we have the product, and the product is not so easy to start producing. It takes money and it takes time, and it's also not so worthy in a sense of how much time will it take you to roll it back. It's not gonna take too much if you make everything nice and good, but even to start, it's not easy. It's like buying a house in some countries.
Plus, problems arise, and there is always going to be, even the most perfect product is going to have issues. Things are going to break. People are going to want returns. You're going to have to, swallow that. So yeah, there's all. It doesn't matter who you are, what brand you are. Everyone has products that fail.
Mm-hmm. And it's not easy to begin. And if you have pro skaters, like people who genuinely love the sport, because if I'm a businessman and I got like $100,000 on the side waiting to invest in something, I will not invest in rollerblading because it's a dying sport, right? So maybe 30 years ago I would, because it's a rising sport, but now
Yeah,
no, it's not. So now all we have is each other, but who is willing to invest in this sport? Those who really love it, right? Because it's not necessarily a good business deal.
yeah. There's better places to invest your money and for a return. Yeah,
Exactly, especially a fucking $100K, right? But at the same time, if you really love rollerblading and you do it, and you're doing everything right, and you have what it takes, then you're probably going to make this money back and make more, and it's going to work out for you. Nice. But it's not what pushes you to do it. What pushes you is the love to the sport, and you know what I mean. Like John
no,
Julio
I
did
get it.
not make them skates to be rich.
Yeah,
Come on, we all know that. He loves rollerblading. He want to stay in rollerblading, and that's what we admire about what he does. Let's be open. 908 was shit skates. I tried them. They were shit. Doesn't matter. We love you.
the
We know you do
first
it for the
I'll,
first
I'll
one.
I'll agree with you. The first one, the plastic wasn't right. The plastic was too soft. The sole plates were too skinny. But the second generation of them, I think were still a good skate.
I didn't try. I heard they were good. They
They were
are good
they
right
they were
now.
they were a lot more improved. Yeah, the very first ones they released though there were, but then weirdly some people liked that. Some people liked that they were soft and
Yeah, squishy like
yeah,
back in the day when all you do is grind and you don't
yeah.
need to do anything else.
But I know
But
what you mean.
yeah, and it's cool. But again, I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm trying to put it as it is. The first product was not good, but nobody gives a fuck because we know he's here for the sport, not for the millions. So take your time, make another one, make a third one, make a fourth one. Everybody will wait, and it's fine, and this is how it should be, and I respect that, and it's great. You know what I mean? And now he has a decent product, and everything is working, and another company in the game who's doing a lot of work, and if they understand it or not, them skates are good for roses and roses is good for them skates, whether they like it or they don't, if they want to fight about it or they don't, if there is even a beef, doesn't matter, it's healthy for both of them. There's more content, more competition, more things to work on, more, as a company owners, they push the pros to do more, I mean,
Yeah.
healthy stuff. And let's say, let's take TikTok right now, for example. you know in my city, we start this conversation about this guy who doesn't have skaters in his city. In my city, pretty much daily there's 20 rollerbladers in the skate park, and there's up to 50 rollerbladers in the city that are under 18 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a city of 100 something thousand people. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers, they don't have these numbers somewhere like in huge cities of 1 million people. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking all the credit because it's not only because of me. There's other people who are responsible for that as well, who's dedicated and they go to the skate park and they skate, blah, blah, blah. But one of the reasons that I see a lot of rise and a lot of newcomers into blading is because of TikTok. You know, I made a good impression in TikTok. I made good numbers. Now, TikTok is also funny because, well, if I have 1,000 views on TikTok, it's 1,000, 90, 80, 50% of them is kids under 18 and from your area. What the fuck more do you need to know? What the fuck more do you need to know? You know what I mean? Just food content, bro. Just you have TV to show to kids, but you're too cool. You think it's better to fucking drink your beer and have fucking 40 years old guys who are not skating anymore licking your balls as if you're that good at skating? I mean, come on, do your fucking job. I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't give a fuck. I'm not pointing anyone. You have a fucking TV for kids to just fuck, man. I get so angry, like really.
Before you get annoyed, let's move swiftly on to another subject because this could go down a massive rabbit hole and last for hours. At Winterclash, you mentioned that your first pro skate, so obviously it's in the background, can see it, and it's got the pink Rossi's logo. You said that you wanted the entire skate to be pink, but Rossi's wouldn't go for it because they thought it was just too much of an ask. It was too risky. Given the popularity of the Blades Aeon, which is a full pink skate, do you think Rossi's regret that decision?
If they regret, I don't know, because this skate sold out and it was a success. It sold out very fast in the shops. I'm not even talking in Rossi's, in the shops. 2-3 months you couldn't find it anymore. So
and that's great, but the Aeon,
I regret it.
Yeah, like the Aeon was the first skate of its type. Like it was the first all pink aggressive skate, whereas that could have been.
I regret it.
It could have been your pro skate.
Yeah, it could have been and it should have been, in my opinion. But like we said, negotiations, and I said it's gonna work. They said they're not sure. But I also thought, like, I mean, it's also my first pro skate. So I guess part of me was also a little bit insecure if it's the right move. But I can openly say I wanted it to happen. Eventually, we decided to do something else. It's not like they completely pushed me off of it, like, yo, it's not gonna happen, choose another color. No, it was more of a conversation and like, listen, I think this, we think that, but we can say that my next pro skate, which will come soon.
Well, that's what I was wondering, to ask, because you've been promising everyone this since last year, since the start of last year, saying you've got a second pro skate coming. So what can you tell us about it?
Corona pushed it back a little bit, but not too much. It was supposed to be end of 2000, like 2020, and it's gonna be 2021. But this time we went pretty crazy with the colors and the combination, and I think it's the, like, listen, I'm gonna say it right here and now. I think it's the best looking skate ever made. For sure, the best looking skate, M12, and they made a bunch of M12s. For me,
so you did give away something that's it's going to be a pro M12.
Yeah, it's a pro M12 for sure. I ride M12. Come on, I actually don't like the fifth that much. Like I know many people who do.
I mean, just because you're sponsored by the brand doesn't mean you have to like all their products. You can have your favorites.
I tried. I really did, and I was like, nope, not gonna work. So yeah, fuck, man. The new pro skate is, and it was also such a risk. It's even pink is not even close to the amount of risk that we took with this one, in a way that
You make
like
it sound like it's going to come out looking like, I don't know, a yellow highlighter or something. You're
it's
like,
almost as
we're
crazy. I mean,
introducing glow in the dark highlighter skate.
yeah, no, it's not that crazy. You're right. It's not that crazy, but I mean the color selection and the combination is I mean, at least for me, the first when well, I'll tell you a little bit about the process. I actually looked in fashion to find the colors. Well, the color of the boot itself, I had a pants in this color. I sent to the team manager. She was like, "This is super cool. I think I have something that fits right how you like it, like pretty much the same as whatever I just showed her." So she took that, she sent me a picture of that color. We were like, whoa, that's great. Let's move forward. And then we had to combine it with stuff. So the the first thing we wanted to do is kind of like, well, this I wanted because I was a little bit scared. It was like all black and then this color. But she was like, I'm being honest. She was like, "Listen, all our skates is all black in this color. Let's go wild." And I was like, "Okay, let's research." And we did a research for this color, and I looked into fashion and jewelry of all kinds of shit. And then I found a couple of combinations. She found another combination, and eventually we mixed it all together into this one product. And first time I saw it, I was like, "Yo, listen, I don't know, is this gonna sell anything? Like, if we're really doing this shit?" And I was skeptical all the way through, and I think also she was, even though she didn't want to show me that she is. She was like, "Oh, no, I think it's gonna work." But somewhere, I think we were both like, "Is it gonna work?" But when the skate arrived, she got it first, and she told me, "Listen, this is the best thing." And I was like, "Yo, I don't even believe you." And then when it arrived to my house, I opened the box and I was like, "What is this? Is it beautiful? Is it not?" I was still confused. But the day or a couple of hours later, I kept looking at it and kept looking at it, and I was like, "That's the bomb." And when I skated with it, it was the bomb of all bombs. That's where it ended for me. And since then, I don't even remember the moment when I saw it and I thought, "Yo, what the fuck? Is it good? Is it not?" Yeah, that's my story about these skates.
Well, yeah, you've already shown me it, but now I can't show or tell anyone until after the skate's released. So that's
Mm-hmm.
infuriating. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say it's a good looking skate. Um, I wanted to talk. Right, there's a couple more things I wanted to ask you about Roses. Obviously, they have given pro skates to people who have never had pro skates before. They've made people pro who other brands overlooked. And that's obviously skaters like you and Yuto Goto, who both got pro skates, which is an incredibly positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of you guys have ever had a pro skate before. Neither of you guys were ever really on a pro team before. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's obviously Nils and, Joe Atkinson get his first pro skate with the brand. But for all the positivity, there's also been negativity attached to the brand. And that's with Joe
Mm-hmm.
leaving, with Stefan leaving, and with Chad leaving. And they were all very vocal about not being happy, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily with the brand. In fact, most of their anger seemed to be directed at the team manager. They didn't like how they were spoken to by the team manager. They didn't like how things were communicated, or they felt like they were being disrespected. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing, as someone that has stayed on the team, and you've obviously seen all these people come and go, like what your view on the whole thing is from a distance.
I mean, I had some struggles with the team manager as well sometimes, but I don't just leave. I handle this shit. So you take it where you want from here. I don't
So
know.
you feel as if they could have
I don't know
communicated
what they
better.
could have done. I really don't know. I honestly don't know all the details, and I
Yeah.
don't know all the stories from their point of view. So I always ask, like, hey, what the fuck happened? And I hear whatever I hear from the, let's say, the team manager point of view or some other writer's point of view, if they know anything. But not so often I heard it from the guys who left. I mean, for me, I'm happy, and with the things I'm not happy, I discuss and talk about. And just like talked before, I openly said that I want 10 euros for Prostate sold. But for now, it's a no. It doesn't mean I leave tomorrow. It's for now. I will keep pushing. I will keep trying, and I hope it will, because I think it. This needs to apply for all the companies, right? I mean, of course, there's them skates who already pushed it more, and sorry. I also heard that Adapt brand is paying more than that as well. Um,
They Adapt, as far as I'm aware, do pay the highest amount of royalties in blading to a pro skater.
it's
But
possible.
oh
Low
no, it's
quantity.
it's not it's not like I know for a fact they pay like
Okay.
them have said what they pay and they've been open about what they pay. Like for Danny Beer, I know that Adapt pay higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
But Adapt produce a lot less skates and
Yeah.
Adapt don't have the costs that those other brands have because Adapt make the skates themselves. So they don't
Mm-hmm.
have employees to pay. Obviously, they've got materials to pay and machinery and things like that, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They're not paying for employees in a factory in China. They're not paying for
They also
importing.
sell for a lot higher,
They
so
also sell for a lot. They're a lot more expensive. So
yeah.
those are very different expenses, and
Mm-hmm.
a skater will not necessarily end up with more money for being on Adapt because if they produce less skates, then it doesn't matter how high the royalty is. There's less royalties.
Of course.
Whereas you could be getting less of a royalty for another company that sells 500 to 1,000 skates and get more money off them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's difficult to know which agreement would benefit the skater more.
Yeah, I think, like, if we wanna talk about it, like, even the Julio solution, which I love it. It's still not a solution.
It's good on paper, but it's not.
It's still not a solution if it doesn't pay a salary on top of that.
It's also not a solution if the skates don't sell.
But I mean, come on, how bad can they go? Come on. Like, okay, maybe they, maybe sold
It can go
in.
bad. You can sell the skates to all the shops, right? So the shops can buy the skates, but what if the consumer doesn't buy the skate from the shop?
I mean, this shit happens, but I don't see how it makes it not a good solution. It's the only thing I see that it's not yet a perfect solution if the people don't have, like, let's put it this way. Maybe Danny Beer got a 30K now, but maybe he doesn't get his next pro skate for another 5 years. And then on the balance, it's still not a solution. But if I still think it's a good solution, because if Julio will push towards also giving a certain salary, then you're on the king road, or on a better road, maybe not a king road, but on a better one. So let's see. I'm hearing. I'm open. I want to see what's the next moves for blading. I love it. I love that we're going this way. I think all the companies should adapt and raise their. And it's also only for pro products. It's not like you can sell let's say M12 for, let's say, 100 euros. I'm throwing just numbers. Let's say, but Pro M12 will cost 150. You know, so it's a big gap. It's a 50 euro gap. But in percentage is a big gap. But I think it's healthy for everything and for everybody. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Last question about roses.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yozenk's
yes.
Yozenk's no longer on Rems.
Mm-hmm.
When are you gonna get your homie, get your buddy on Roses? When are you gonna get Yo hooked up?
I don't know. He's a big boy, and to be honest, he's handling it by himself right now. Um, I know probably as much as you do, to be honest.
All
So
right.
I'm talking to him. I know he skates the fifth right now.
That's
We
what I
saw
mean.
it in
He's already riding
videos.
the skates, so
Yeah,
it's not
he's
that
riding
much of
the
a jump.
skates and he likes it. And I don't know. I think he's talking or not. I actually don't know. I don't want to say also things that because I really don't know if he's gonna be on the team or not. And
Okay.
I hope so. You know, I like him. He's a friend, and he will probably come to Israel soon again, and we're gonna meet again and everything. But um, he's a big boy. You know, it's not his first sponsor. He's also one of the first guys to like kind of tell me about it, like being transparent with me about money and stuff in blading. And he told me
Yeah.
like, "Hey, watch out! This is a whole snake shit game. So people will try to fuck you. So be aware." But like, I'm not saying he changed my world because I was also kind of stepping into this world with a lot of kind of questions like what the fuck is going on in here. But he definitely helped me establish my mind of like, hey, this is not working. However, whoever invented this shit here is not working.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
the system's been broken for a long time now,
So yeah,
and there's a
it's
lot of
fucked up.
things that need to change. But thankfully, as you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
there are elements of it that are improving. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that will continue. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's fair enough. I also saw recently. So the last time when I interviewed you the first time, you'd
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that you'd been to prison and you were very open about that. And you've mentioned it in
Mm-hmm.
subsequent interviews with, Jump Street and stuff like that, and been very honest about
Mm-hmm.
your past. But I also
Yeah.
saw on social media, and I can't remember whether it was a few months ago, that you put up a post basically like highlighting, I guess I want to say like a landmark. So was it 7 years sobriety or
7 years.
7
Yeah.
years?
7 years
Because
clean.
I knew that you'd went to prison, but I didn't realize that you battled with addiction. So 7 years is a long
Oh,
time. I think that's something to be proud
yeah.
of. To be
Yeah, definitely.
because I can't even imagine what that's like, but it, it can't be easy to know that you have that aspect of your personality and have to basically fight against it every day.
No, you don't fight. You don't. You don't fight it anymore. At some point, it's actually very liberating to know that you have this in your personality, because then it's way easier. If you truly, truly accept it and understand it, then it's easier for you not to do it. You know what I mean? Because you know that if you take a bite, you're gonna eat the whole cake. And the problem is when you're not sure and when you keep testing these little bites, that's where you're getting fucked every time. But when times goes on and you stay clean and you truly, truly understand that one bite from the cake means the whole cake, but you understand it from deep here, you know what I mean? Not from your mind. It's like from your stomach and you know it. And then you let it go for real. And sure, nobody can tell the future, but for now it's working. And yeah, I've been to prison. I sold drugs. I did drugs. I used drugs. Not only it started smoking and stuff, and then sniffing speeds and all this shit. And then at some point, I took some chemicals, mixed it up with weed and stuff, and I was actually having a very, very bad. Very, very bad is a very small way to describe what I went through. like
Yeah,
very
like an
bad
understatement for
trip,
yeah.
very bad trip, mind. I'm speaking mind. So I kind of lost my mind. Like I was even to the point where I was how do you say it, like mumbling when I was talking, because I couldn't even control my talks. So I was like for a couple of months I was like, you know, like to this level my mind was so fucked from these chemicals. I'm talking like the worst experience, and it kept coming back for flashbacks and years of, and still to this day, but in a lower vibrations. It's yeah, I was basically, I lost my mind, and I somehow came back to it. And right about this time, a little bit after I started selling drugs, I started using heroin and crack for a little while, for like maybe 8 months, 1 year, and then I got to prison for selling drugs. And it was a big mix of things. And basically I didn't use chemicals and didn't smoke weed. And I have a very would say post trauma from this stuff. So even smelling weed makes me very anxious and very panicked, but like really panicked, like, and I go away, right? So I literally, I walk away if I can. Sometimes you cannot, and I can put my shirt like this and whatever because it's so much everywhere. But this shit does really bad feelings and emotions to me. But let's move forward from that.
I was going to
After
ask
that, I
about that,
used.
yeah, because at Winterclash, I remember there was at one point, and I'm pretty sure it was before the pro panel, and I do remember you commenting on like the smell, because obviously there's a smell of marijuana in area in the skate
Mhm.
park because it's free. Because it's legal, it's not free. Because it's legal, and like a lot of people obviously come to the country to do that. But I remember
Yeah,
you, it did have quite an effect on you, and you did seem quite like uncomfortable before the panel started.
I'm getting fucked up. I'm not even uncomfortable. I'm getting fucked up.
Yeah,
And you know, I the first winter clash I came. Yeah, before I jump to that, want to tell you about the process a little bit so I don't forget. Well, the point is, after prison, I was really down. Like, prison was super hard for me. It was 1 year, and it felt like 2 lifetimes. You know what I mean? It was so long and so depressing. And I was also in that. Imagine I'm being in a panic mode, uh, 24/7 in this small space. So it was a lot. I went through a lot in there, and there was no like no rapes or anything like this. Thank God, you know, because that would have been fucked up to start stabbing or getting stabbed or whatever. You know, this is how it goes there. But where I was, it was a little bit more chill because it was not long sentences. People, so people who go out in 2 years and 3 years, they're not, they are more careful than people who have 20, 40 lifetimes. You know what I mean? So yeah, I went out and I started to get clean. It was a mix of things, and I got a lot of help from good people, from good places. You know, you cannot do it by yourself. Stop thinking you're Superman. Get fucking help. You know, whoever needs to hear this, get fucking help. I'm 7 years clean. I go 3 times a week to groups. I go to psychology. I talk about this shit. I help myself get help. You know, I do what I need to do to stay more healthy, to help my mind. It's like skating. You cannot be good at skating without skating. So therapy in many different forms. It's the sport of the mind. You know, it's being in shape of your mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's super important. I hope somebody who needs to hear it and go fucking take care of themselves, because yeah, I mean, addiction and blading comes together in a lot of terms. Blading itself is pretty addictive, and not even talking about the fact that a lot of the pros and a lot of the people who participate in the sport, also skateboarding or whatever, they are yeah, a lot of them, not all and not whatever, but a lot of them got issues. And I really hope that people will start realizing that there is life without this, and it's so much better than you could ever imagine. Like, I can only remember myself being that guy. I didn't even skate at that time. I stopped skating for like 6 years, and I can only imagine myself being that guy at that place with that mindset and in that cycle of using and getting high and whatever, doing all kinds of gangster shit or whatever we were doing there, because there was a lot of this stuff too, you know. But this is some edge. This is edge, but if whoever needs to hear this, it's not about that edge that I was at. It's about the addiction. It's about the cycle. It's not, you know, maybe I took it this way. Maybe someone else could have just as much suffer and just as much problems and just as much instability in his life without doing this gangster shit and going to prison or whatever. Maybe he's only smoking weed. Maybe. But maybe he cannot get his shit together for fucking 10 or 20 or 30 years, and he thinks like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Maybe I got a problem. Maybe I need some help. But, you know, I'm not telling anyone what to do, what is drug, what is not drugs. I don't care, really. I can only say what I know and what worked for me. And yeah, for me, it's shit. Sabosin is calling me. Let me see it.
Does Savicine have good English? I've never spoken to him.
Not that good, but I have a little Russian. He have a little
Right,
English.
okay.
You
I was
know,
I
we
was
work
wondering
it
that
out.
if there was like a mix of languages. Okay, cool.
I will tell him that I will call him back in a little bit. I actually got to go in about 25 minutes. It's still good
We've still
time,
got
but
time. I've only
yeah.
got a couple of questions to ask you anyway. So you
All right.
send your message to Savicin and I'll rattle the
Yeah.
rest off.
Done. I
Right.
love Sabosin, man. Sabosin is
He's
such a
got
G.
he's I feel like he's introducing something new and fresh to blading that has been missing in a lot. He brings a lot of humor to it, but in addition to bringing humor, like the skating in a barn with
He
chickens,
got
and
tricks.
he's also
In it,
got
he got tricks.
the
Like, he
ability
broke
to back it up.
bangers.
Yeah, he's not just
Mm-hmm.
a comedian; he's a
Mm-hmm.
comedian and a really good skater. And
Mm-hmm.
it's he's definitely carved out his own thing in blading, and I think if he continues that, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Sure.
I wanted to
For
ask you
sure.
about Winbrand, because obviously you and Yuto had pro wheels. You had the pink one and he had the green one, right? Winbrand hoodie, but nothing's come out
Mm-hmm.
since.
Yeah, I mean, just like I mentioned, Julio's first 908 and saying, it's fine, dude. Like, take your time, do what you got to do, make it a good product, and he did. It's the same with Winbrand. Like, we were, you know, Jeba is obviously amazing skater, right? First and foremost, which is
Yeah,
important. And and he's working towards making this brand. He got a lot of good ideas, but he's lacking experience. Something that, for just for the example, we cannot say about John. We can, sure, he was sure lacking a lot of experience. He didn't
yeah.
have his own company,
He's never run a.
but
Yeah,
he was doing a lot of things
yeah.
already for
Well, yeah.
many
He
years.
was doing a lot of
He was
work
doing
with roses
Valo.
for
He
Valo,
was
but
doing them good.
he didn't do all of it. He didn't do
He didn't do
everything.
skate.
He had help.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So he had to learn But so the same with Jeba, you know, his learning process right now. I think the main reason we don't have more wheels is because of Corona and COVID,
Okay.
because it fucked a lot of the
Production in
production
China.
and
Yeah.
people had to stop and blah blah blah. So 1 second, I need to drink.
Well, I literally ask you one question. You
Mm,
talk for like 10, 15 minutes. So I'm surprised you've not drank before now.
1 second. لما الشتي يكون بالشلاش. مساس كيف؟
You getting into trouble? Have I just got you into trouble, Bobby?
I got massage therapy. Also something I'm trying to take care of my body more. I have massage therapy at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
It's like 8 minutes walk from my house, so it's okay. We still got some time.
I hear you. So is there anything new coming from Winbrand in the future? Because I see that they've just
Yeah,
added
definitely.
Monterey, so they must have something coming up.
We got Montre, we got more wheels coming, we got more clothes coming. He just sent me a hat and a t-shirt and some stickers and working. He's working and he's learning, and like we just have to be a little bit more patient and understand that not everything comes. And I really hope that by the next run or the next two runs, he will already have this flow of constant wheels and constant production. And yeah, I mean, it's not easy. I understand. I'm patient.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Right now, this as we speak, I don't have. I only have one set of the wheels of my wheels, and then it's over. It might take a little bit of time, and I will be patient. I will wait, and it's okay. Like you know, I mean, J-Ba is great, and I'm going with him, and you know, we got a
Okay.
nice team. I think we got good ideas. It's just learning. It's learning.
No, I get it.
And yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So you're skating for Roses, Winbrand, Head and Skate, Ground Control, and Blade Life. Is that everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is what
XCCV.
uh, the crew? Yeah, that
For
goes
life.
without saying. Yeah, you're supposed to do this.
Yeah. XCCV for life.
One thing. Oh, I almost forgot. So after Winterclash last year, you obviously skated really well, but you obviously weren't happy with how you placed. And then there was that video
Yeah, I
that
won
got put online.
Winterclash. Come on.
There was
I
that
won
video that got put online
Winterclash.
to the Korn song "Blind," which was fucking hilarious. But again,
Yeah, I thought so too.
you got backlash for that because people weren't happy that you weren't that you thought you deserved to place higher. Like there was.
Who is this people? I saw about 500 posts
Tell me their names.
about people that saying I should have won.
Oh
I've
yeah, like
seen
there was people agreeing with
I've
you, but
seen
as always,
there was I never seen anything like this in the history of rollerblading. The whole rollerblading community, or probably not the whole of them, but you know, like in my feeling, many people. I'm talking about hundreds of people and hundreds of posts and story shares. People saying, "Hey, this is wrong," and something went wrong in here. Now, I'm not saying this is some kind of scheme or some kind of, you know what I mean.
yeah, like yeah,
you know, I'm
like
not crazy
conspiracy,
like
yeah.
that. No conspiracy here. I think it was a mistake. I think I should have placed. I think I did very well, and I'm still there's part of me who also understands why I didn't get placed, but I just don't agree with it because I got a full written explanation from the judges. Because imagine to this point, without me even talking to the judges, they had to do a conference talk with themselves because they saw all the posts as well.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey guys, listen, did we do a mistake here? Let's talk about it. They decided they didn't. I think they did, and also not having the best streak. It's kind of like I don't know. I just I still feel the same. Like you arguably somebody who could have been top 3 or even first place, and then you decide not to, and you have the best streak, and he already has arguably the best streak in this competition. Again, arguably, because maybe there's a room to say maybe this trick, that trick, but
Yeah.
it's not like this trick and then his trick, so we're doing him a favor. It's like, you know, it's already close enough to, and then at the end you decide to give me nothing. I thought it was weird. I thought it was not so smart. I didn't say anything before the community did. And plus, on top of all that, forgot I had one more thing to say, but I forgot. Yeah, also, if you watch all the videos from this competition, I finished the videos. It's as if I won without winning. You know what I mean? So like, let's say I'm stupid, I don't know anything, and I think I should have not won. Okay, let's just pretend, because some people maybe feel, oh, he shouldn't say he should have won, right? And
Yeah,
it's fine, I
it's
get
one
it.
of those things that rarely happens. It's very rare that a skater speaks out and says,
But
I feel as
yeah,
if I got fucked over
but
there."
but I hopped the wave of 500 or thousands of different people. I hopped the wave. I did not create the wave. You understand the difference?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
I know what you mean.
not. I was not the first one to say it. The moment they announced the Winterclash winners, there was a gather of 100 people around me, looking at me like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like literally at that moment, you know, a lot of people. I'm not talking about 5 people. I'm talking about a lot of people coming to and creating another circle in the Winter Clash. So the winner circle, and then another circle, smaller one, but still a pretty decent big circle of people saying, "Yo, what the fuck? Where are you? Why are you not there?" And then right after that, there came so many posts, so many comments, so many. I mean, you gotta ask yourself, if you're a judge at this moment and you're judging Winterclash for 14 years or 15 years straight, and this never happens, this happens to a certain degree. One guy here, one guy there, this guy, that guy. But then you see a whole mess. You got to ask yourself, hey, this is the first time in 15 years. Maybe something happened here that we didn't notice. The judges told me that I didn't make enough lines. Like, I'm saying we're not phased. We're fucking Winterclash. This is hardcore competition. This is
It's kind of
rollerblading.
difficult. It's kind of difficult to link together lines at
Ah,
Winterclash anyway because the crowd are in the way.
yeah. I mean, David Sizemore won a couple of years ago with like 5 tricks in total, but they were all massive bangers. And I'm sure some other guys connected their tricks together. I don't give a fuck. It's Winterclash. You see the bang, you hit the bang, you know. And if you want to give points for somebody connecting his line as if he's in the fizz and got a fucking 60 seconds run, then okay, you give it a certain amount of points, but this cannot be the thing that wins the category, because someone but connected his lines. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Well, you know what? And again, this is not, I'm not stating facts, is what I think. If the judges think that no, lines is most important, it is what it is. What can I do? You know, I walk away. I felt, I didn't cry at night. I just felt like, hey, I don't think it was fair. Fuck it, let's move forward. Next year, I'll try again. It's okay, you know? Maybe people think that, I don't know. I don't know what you heard. I didn't see so much comments about it. Maybe you see stuff that I don't see, or maybe you're more involved in the people talks that I'm not involved in. You know what I mean? But for me, again, it's just my opinion. I thought differently. Okay, this is
All right.
my fault. The judges decided differently. Fuck it, that's life. We move forward. Congratulations to all the winners. That's it. Don't think I take it like that hard. It's annoying at first, of course, when you really believe you deserve something. But even worse than that, when everybody believes you deserve something, because then you kind of feel like, well, maybe there's truth to what I feel, because too many people thinking the same thing, you know. But it happened, and I'm sure it happened before, and I'm sure it's gonna happen in the future. And judging is not easy, and it's not like football when there's a goal or no goal.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
very subjective.
Consolidating,
Yeah.
big variety. I understand, and I mean, yeah, fuck it, it's fine.
All right. Um, so you've got the Pro Skate coming out, which I'm
Yes,
assuming is going to have a Pro Skate promo as well. Can you at least tell us
yes.
when we can expect your promo to drop? Like, is there a kind of
Couple
tight
weeks,
couple
couple
weeks?
weeks.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
after the release. I think by now, by the time people see this, it should be released. So a couple weeks after, I mean, I'm working on it. I liked it. I like it. I think I have some nice clips. I did. It's different than the other one. It's different. It's a
Okay.
whole different vibe. And yeah, I hope
So
people will like it. Yeah.
we know all that's coming. So the only thing I want to know is when are you and Cody Lampman going to film that joint VOD section? Because I know he's in Georgia,
Bruh.
and I know you've already been in touch with him. So I want to know. I want to know when it's happening. Get him
I
over
mean,
there.
I love to watch Cody skate,
He
and
is.
my
He is
original
one of the
message to
best.
him was, "Come here, I'm gonna film you." I didn't even say anything about doing a section with him, you know,
Right.
like
Okay.
I'm down to film him because I knew he was kind of close by in a way of distance. But now he's back in the US. I mean, it's up to
He's
him
he's but
eventually.
he's not
No,
in Tbilisi
he's in
anymore.
Georgia now.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sorry,
he's still in.
no.
He was only there a few weeks
But
ago.
he went to the US, so maybe he went back to Georgia right now. Sorry, I kind of mixed things up. Um,
I
so
think.
yeah, I'm
I think.
waiting. I'm
Yeah.
waiting.
I think you need to. I think you need to send him a little message.
Yeah, I will. But now it's lockdown here, so
That's you can
even
you could can
my
make
pro
plan
skate.
for make
Yeah,
plans for
sorry.
after lockdown.
Yeah, but nobody knows. I mean, I'm filming for my
This is
pro
true.
skate right now, and I'm gonna have now 2 weeks off, because of lockdown. So
Yeah.
how can I bring somebody here to fucking sit on the couch? You know what I mean? Like,
No, no,
I'd
no, no.
rather, as soon as this is over or starting to show more signs, but I think this is the last lockdown, though.
Okay. Well, in that case, thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Yes.
Love the look of the skate. By the time this comes out, people have already seen the skate, so they'll know what it looks like as well. And yeah, looking forward to the promo. Hope 2021 goes good for you. And yeah, keep up the good
Thank you.
work.
Thank you very
Hopefully
much,
see you
and I
soon.
hope nobody gets offended from this interview.
I mean, they probably will, but you can't
Yeah, if
help.
they will,
That's
check yourself, guys. Like I'm cool. You check
like you said,
yourself.
if they take an issue with it, that's their problem
Yeah,
and not yours. So
exactly. Like I'm not. I know inside that I'm not intentionally hurting anyone. You know what I mean? If you do that, you're an asshole. But I really don't try that. I'm just talking, and sometimes anyone can get hurt from anything. So yeah. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy talking to you. And thank you for doing this with me. And hope to see you soon. And I hope we chat again soon. That's it.
yeah, man. Well, in that case, enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah,
Thank you.
speak soon.
Thank you.